Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Thursday, August 15th. I'm Michael Taylor, your host, and if you don't believe me, it's right there on the screen. So we have visual proof as well that I'm Michael Taylor, I'm your host. Went down to the beach yesterday and decided we were gonna do a little exercise walk. Huge mistake, it was like 4:30 in the middle of the day, it was really hot. I started sweating like I had typhoid fever or something like that. It was really too much, and I was like, I gotta do this either later in the day or earlier in the morning, but those temperatures are gonna stick with us for a little while, so if you're thinking about exercising, getting out there, make sure you're bringing water, which I did not bring, or make sure you have lots of suntan lotion on, which I did have, so I did that. The one smart thing I did yesterday when I was walking around here. Well, let's talk about today's show and what we got looking forward here, and we got a great one for you. Golden Rain Foundation update with director Donna Rain Shostak. She's going to be in here talking about all the things, the decisions they made on the budget, some fees that are going up, other stuff. So we'll preview a lot of that with her, and she'll kind of walk us through all the steps they took to get where the budget is and where all their plans are for what they're doing here in the community. So stay tuned for that one. But right now, we want to talk about another really cool thing that's going on, a resource fair in our Stay Informed segment. And it's going to be coming up on Monday, August 19th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're going to have this resource fair over at Clubhouse 2. And they're going to be connecting you with federal agencies like the VA, Social Security, IRS centers for Medicare and Medicaid services, and a lot more. So there's lots of resources, lots of things out there that a lot of folks don't even know they're eligible for, or they know they're eligible for, but they do not know how to access the information and get the right forms and go to the right websites. So this is going to be a great resource for you guys. Make sure you call the number or email on the screen or RSVP on that website to make sure you can do that. You can also find the RSVP on our website here at, in the Village website. Go there, find this information under What's Up in the Community, under What's Up in the Village, and you can click on that and get right to the RSVP for that. So there's a good one coming up on the 19th. Make sure you get out to that one on Monday. Let's take a look at our weather while we're at it. Hey, today's going to be like the hottest day of the rest of the week, and so again, unlike me, make sure you bring water and make sure you're using your sunscreen if you're going out and about, especially in the warmer part of the afternoon when the sun really is at its, the warmth is really at its hottest. That's where we peak out. That's where we get our high temperatures in the midday at around 3 or 4 o'clock. So 86 is going to top out today. Then we're going to get a little cooler for the rest of the week, and it should be pretty nice for the weekend. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have a bump up and a little bit of a heat wave starting on Monday. So enjoy this weekend. It'll be the coolest temperatures we're going to have for a little while. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset while we're at it. And yes, I took this picture yesterday when I was at the beach sweating. So here's our sunrise, sunset picture. Sunrise this morning was 6:13 in the morning. Sunset tonight is going to be 7:36. Hey, if you'd like to send us a picture, don't just rely on me for these things. If you'd like to send us a picture, go ahead and email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the photo, and horizontal if you can, and we will use it in our sunrise sunset segment. All right, we have meetings galore to tell you about today, and then when we come back, Golden Rain Foundation update. Stay with us.
Pageant of the Masters is one of those truly unique experiences.
It's like watching a picture come to life.
You can't even necessarily pick out all of the live people. You really have to look a second, third, fourth time.
The show is different every year. It handles different genres, different time frames. Definitely incredible.
You're under the stars, you have a live orchestra. It doesn't get better than this in Laguna.
You think you've been looking at a picture, and that's not what it is. It's something you can't see anywhere else.
Welcome to Envision Eye Centers, conveniently located next to Laguna Woods. We offer cutting-edge technology that meets unsurpassed service.
You and your eyes are my priority. We will treat you with the utmost care and compassion.
Some might offer local exams, but they'll send you on a trek for surgery. Skip the unnecessary travel.
You can be confident that we will deliver the best outcome for your eyes.
Schedule your consultation today and see the world clearly. Call us or visit our website. No inconvenience, just expert care.
At Motion Drip, we believe in proactive wellness. Our IV therapy is designed to give you the well-being you deserve. With increased vitamin absorption directly into your bloodstream, it will replenish your body with hydration and nutrients to support your body's functions, increase energy levels, slow signs of aging, improve muscle recovery, and boost stamina. We are located right outside of Gate 8 on Moulton Parkway. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your appointment today, as we will be your proactive partner in wellness.
There's something for everyone at the Festival of Arts in Laguna Beach. My favorite is the unique fine art jewelry and painting. Our little one always has so much fun at the art classes and junior art exhibit. And my husband just loves to buy art for our home from local artists. What a great way for us to enjoy summer together. There's so much to see and do here at the Festival of Arts in Laguna Beach.
And welcome back to the program. You know, the Golden Rain Foundation here in Laguna Woods is responsible for a lot of stuff. 7 clubhouses, 5 pools, fitness centers, golf, equestrian trails, and a lot more. And here to join us talking about that is Director Donna Rain Shostak. Thank you, Donna, for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So tell us about your background. Why did you get into all this work? Why aren't you just here enjoying your retirement?
I think I've always worked with communities and with service. I was a nurse practitioner as my profession, and my last position was as a dean of health sciences, where that's all service related.
Right.
And so when I retired, it was just a natural thing to serve the community I lived in, where I now had the time to do it.
Well, I know the deans of those community colleges, they have a lot of work. They're managing multiple departments, multiple programs. They're planning out their structures. They're doing coursework. So a lot of stuff goes into that planning-wise, and I imagine it translates into what you're doing at the foundation.
It was very helpful.
Okay.
It was very helpful both when my first board service was with Third Mutual, and now with Golden Rain Foundation.
Okay.
And I had huge budgets to worry about, and of course, I think first on people's minds is they're going to want to hear about our proposed increase, our proposed per man or per month assessment for next year.
Is going up.
So I kind of brought that with me, but also with just planning for large communities. I was Dean of Health Sciences, and so we had programs throughout Southern California. And so this for me was a pretty easy transition.
So you're just keeping busy, enjoying retirement.
And out of trouble.
A lot of time, not too much trouble. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's jump into it. You guys are, unfortunately, there's an increase in assessment that may be coming forward, and that's just the reality of the world and inflation and cost of things, right?
It is. And I'd like to say I'm happy that it's not going up very much, but unfortunately, the portion that's Golden Rain Foundation, GRF to make it much shorter, that portion of the monthly per man or per month assessment will go up slightly. Anticipated, still have to have absolute final blessings on it, but it looks like it's going to be $9.97 per man or per month more than in the previous year. So that means the portion of, our members get one bill.
Right.
But the portion of that bill that would be for GRF will go from, most likely, from $228.22 to $238.19. But I think what's really important that I want to share with our members is that 84% of that increase was totally out of our control. There was nothing we could do about that.
And those are just simple costs. They're going up for the things you guys purchase and the services you get.
The services we have to have.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even the, it's not these aren't luxury services.
Not a lot of choices here.
It's things like our utilities, electric and water, insurance. I think, watching the news this week, there have been several stories about renters throughout Southern California who are experiencing increases because insurance for their owners and landlords is going up, so obviously it's being passed on. So insurance. Outsourcing the lifeguards, a small piece of all of this, but it still was there and nothing we could do. And then workers' comp insurance. But I do want to mention, while we don't there isn't anything we can do about these basic unit charges. They are what they are, and we work with, especially with insurance, to get the best arrangement. But there is something we can do when it comes to utilization. Here in Laguna Woods, our members don't get a water bill. No matter where they live in the village, they don't get a water bill.
Right.
And so it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I'm going to take a longer shower. I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to water the...
You know, if you don't see the bill, it's like you don't realize that shower was longer, and every day it makes a difference. But for us, that's an issue, particularly in this part of South Orange County, because we have no natural source.
Right. All the water we get down here is imported.
100% of our potable water is imported. And it's imported not from next door. It's imported from Northern California, from the Colorado River. These are long distances. And so we know that our water charges are not only going up this year, but they're going to keep going. They're not going to go down.
Right.
So the question is there anything we can do? And so we kind of have to move that unconscious thing about water kind of to the forefront. And I do want to share with you, when I was on the Third Mutual Board, I was the water conservation person, and we tried a very positive campaign to just talk about what can you do and to make people aware. And the water charges, they're per unit, but there are the charges are less per unit when you're using what is perceived as normal amounts of water, and excessive water use is penalized at a higher rate.
Right.
And during that year of paying attention and just asking people to be aware, that's all. You know, it's just do it. And during that year, our monthly charges for Tier 4, which is excessive water use, that's the highest per unit, those monthly charges went from an average of $12,000 to $15,000 a month just in Tier 4 for all of Third Mutual, to $1,200 to $1,500 a month. That's significant.
That's huge.
And in terms of water, and Third Mutual, their landscape water is separated from residential water. So in that portion of the village, we can actually see what potable water does. And we actually discovered that in looking at the meters and the rating that we got from the water district, that residents, through cutting down water, saved 150 million gallons of potable water that year. That does translate. So yeah, we can't do anything about the basic charges, but we all can play a role in keeping those costs down.
And I know landscaping also takes a big gulp in terms of water use, and I know there's been a lot of the associations, homeowners that have those committees on how we're going to kind of like, we love our green grass, we love our trees, we love our plants, but turning some areas that aren't used are just kind of like beauty spots into more succulents or just
we've been doing
artificial turf.
We've already been doing a lot of that throughout the village. And one of the things that GRF, Golden Rain Foundation, was able to do, because we're responsible for anything that is kind of covering the whole village, was just putting in, and we didn't install it ourselves, but providing the opportunity to install a new irrigation system. And that is going to make a huge difference. The folks who control our watering cycles can actually turn those sections on from their phone.
Oh, wow.
So they could be somewhere and they can get a phone call that it's raining over here, and by gate 1 there's a sudden cloud burst, and they can turn those sprinklers off if they were on. And if for some reason we needed more, they can also put it on. So that, we think, is going to make a huge difference. And this is the first year. It's just barely completed this year.
Oh, wow.
And so we expect to see a very big difference. Part of the village has recycled water, and that would be parts of Third Mutual and parts of the golf course, et cetera, in GRF. So that's very helpful too. But when we're using potable water for everything else, we all have to.
Yeah, I remember like when you see like it's been raining all week, and then you see sprinklers go on. You're like, why don't we have smart sprinklers? Why don't we have those things? So it's great to see that those
so we have smart sprinklers, and we have smartphones and people using them who can turn them on and off. So that's very exciting, and we're really pleased. So again, just to let people know, we're doing everything we can.
Right.
And being aware of those things.
And the reality of the insurance and those kinds of things are just the realities. I know that everybody does their best. Homeowner associations, you guys guys do the shop around, find the best rates, but they're just going up across the board. So that's one of those things.
There's just so little that we can do. And of course, just maintenance. We have to maintain the community.
Absolutely.
We certainly not only want to, we want to have the appearance excellent. But if anybody's been watching the news out of Florida, the condominium association members are getting hit with huge personal assessments because of what happened when that building collapsed and the need. So here we try very hard, and VMS works very hard not to have any deferred maintenance for major projects.
And they're paying the price for those things in Florida these days. It
Yes,
looks
they
like,
are.
For sure. There's some changes to the fees for traffic violations and public safety.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Let's get those parts out of the way. but traffic safety violations, any violations related to traffic, we wouldn't have to have if we kept to the speed limit and stopped at stop signs. And unfortunately, for some reason, I think people, when they enter a private community, even if we live here,
it's all rules are off.
It's like, no, I only have to worry about that when I'm out on the street. And it's really important because our streets should be safe for everybody. It should be safe for our members, our residents, their guests, etc.
And I think people get really comfortable in their own neighborhood. Oh, nothing. There's hardly any traffic here. There's nothing. I don't need to stop all the way at these stop signs. Because
not even all the way. Not the California stop, but sometimes no stop at all.
Well, what's funny? I did one of my first things I did out in the field when I first started working here was a ride along with one of our security officers. Saying we parked at one of the stop signs, and he just watched people roll through, and he pulled people over for warnings, that kind of thing. But you're not kidding. I mean, sometimes people just kind of like, oh, it's fine. I can just go right through here.
And the number of violations, and the number of violations we are aware of, because we don't have security people everywhere. We can't afford to have folks stationed every corner, or even close to it. So the number of violations we're aware of, the biggest problems tend to be speeding and running stop signs. And there are not only many of those, but unfortunately, we've kept the fines low because you don't want to penalize people too much. But if you don't penalize people too much, then it's not a big deal.
Right. Oh, who cares? Like a little $10 ticket.
And it wasn't 10, but it was 25. And $25.
Whatever it might be.
People would wind up, the vast majority of individuals, and that includes service people, et cetera, who get a ticket, tend to send in the money. They don't bother coming to the hearing. They don't do anything, and unfortunately, probably don't change their driving habits either. So what we will be doing, it hasn't been finalized yet, but it is proposed that what we'll be doing is raising those fees for traffic violations, particularly speeding and stop signs, not to give us a source of income. We don't want that income.
That's the last thing you want. It's a deterrent kind of factor there, right?
But to hopefully, if the fee is a little bit higher, to make it just a little more painful and have people be more conscious of the need to do it. And one of the things that I think most of our residents might not be aware of is that this is a private community that they're aware of.
Sure.
But when we call someone in at the gate, whether it's a guest or a service person, if that individual speeds or doesn't stop at a stop sign when they're driving, the notice is sent to, if they're caught, the notice is sent both to the violator and to the resident who called them in.
Okay.
And if the violator chooses to ignore it, it is the resident's responsibility because they said
they're the ones who vouched for them.
Yep. So it's and I think we need to be aware of that.
Sure.
And we need to let our guests know. If we're driving with them and they're driving and going a little faster or not quite stopping at that stop sign, doing that California rolling stop, you need to remind them.
So a little more of a little pain point in those fees might help out just a little bit.
So again, just the most important point is it's not going to be intended as a revenue source. It's intended for public safety.
Disaster preparedness, we should always be prepared, especially earthquakes and fires around here, and you guys have something coming up for that?
We do. Not only do we have something coming up, actually, this is very exciting. We have several things coming up.
Okay.
And Disaster Preparedness Task Force is a function of Golden Rain Foundation along with our security folks. And right now, there are several things in progress. The first is a gap analysis looking for the gaps in our plans for should a disaster occur. And it's very exciting because it turns out that the city of Laguna Woods, which we know, we were planning for disasters without even thinking about the fact the city is the one that calls in FEMA. The city calls in the sheriff. The city calls in the fire department. And we were just kind of doing our own plan. And we have to coordinate with them.
Right. I guess that's the first step right there. There's a gap you didn't notice.
Right. And so that was a big gap. But the city recognized that they probably had gaps and had to be a little better, better organized and have better plans. And so they hired a company that does this. And as the company is working on that, and we discovered that, we were able to join into that at a very small fee. It's a fee, but significantly lower because they're already doing it, and because whatever we do, we're the bulk of the city of Laguna Woods.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are the residents, really.
So it's very exciting that they're, so this gap analysis is in progress. We will find out where the gaps are, and hopefully we won't ever have a problem, but if we do, everybody will know what to be doing.
The gaps are going to be filled.
Yeah, so that's the first part. The second exciting thing as part of disaster preparedness is there's a big event coming up for the community. And that is tentatively scheduled for October 8th at Clubhouse 5. And they will be hearing more about it. This is just preliminary heads up, is that there will be speakers talk about how to prepare for a disaster, what to do during one, and an opportunity to experience an earthquake in a special trailer that they will be bringing.
I've been in one of those at the Cube, Discovery Cube, up in where's Santa Ana, where it is, and that rolls you around. You do not want to go to the high one.
No, the 7-point whatever one. No, we don't want that. But it'll really be important and kind of help give us not only better understanding, but there'll be vendors there who will have things we might be able to need. We're revitalizing the block captain program so that we'll be able to do that. So lots of exciting things happening.
And I'll tell you, when you're in with those, it also makes you think, my gosh, if my house shook like this just shook, you can look around your house and think, what would have fallen? What would have crashed the thing? I do need to secure my television. I need to make sure these things. So I think
anything that could tip over has to be anchored to the wall.
And it's a real kind of a wake-up call for, like, my house is not as secure as I think it is.
Yeah, and so and it's important that the event that's planned for here is really being planned very close to California's Great Shakeout that they always have every October. So we're hoping October will be heightened awareness month for disasters.
And people need to make sure they have supplies at their house too, and a go bag and things like that, like water in case, because sometimes pipes break during earthquakes and gas lines and those kinds of things.
And current supplies, water in plastic bottles can, sitting long enough, can have problems. So all of those things, and there's actually a new change. It was always, you should go to a central place, of safety, and now it's shelter in place. So again, we urge people when they hear about this and we get all the details out to attend that as well as be aware. So that's exciting.
Those basic reminders. You have some board meetings that are coming up?
Yeah, just the last thing I want to make sure that we did. I always like people, and we always want people to be aware. And that first meeting in September, there are two very important meetings. The first Tuesday of every month is always the GRF board meeting. Always starts at 9:30 in the morning over in the boardroom. And that would be September the 3rd. On the 5th of September, which is Thursday, there's going to be a special open corporate members meeting. And people say, who are the corporate members? The corporate members are the board members of the mutuals who represent those folks in the mutuals. But this meeting is an open meeting. It's open to everybody. And I just wanted to, from the agenda that will be posted fairly soon, the purpose of this corporate members meeting and vote, and there will be a vote taken that day, is to act on Third Mutual's request for removal of GRF directors James Hopkins and Yvonne Horton without cause and pursuant to the bylaws. Everybody's welcome to either of these meetings. That second meeting, the vote will be taken that day, and these meetings will be not only open to people in person, but will be on Zoom as well.
And real quick question. What is it like for you to serve? What do you feel like you get out of this whole experience?
It's just Sometimes it's frustrating, of course. It's frustrating when we don't want to raise the fees and know that that will happen. So that can be frustrating. It's frustrating when we think we're doing a good job and there are folks who say, no, certain things aren't being done. But I think in the end, it's very rewarding. As I said in the beginning, my whole career and my whole life has been doing service things, so I just feel like I'm continuing it. And you do the best you can. I'm sure sometimes each of us will make mistakes,
sure,
as we always do, but in the end, serving the community is what keeps this community strong. And we love and I do have to say it's very important for all of our members to know that we love the fact that many of them come to a meeting. We encourage them to be there because we can't be everywhere all the time.
And input from the community is so important.
We need to hear input, and the strokes and pokes both.
There you go. Well, Director Donna Rain Shostak from GRF, thank you very much for joining us today. Lots of great information.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day. We're going to be right back.
Caring Senior Service provides a variety of care services to help seniors age in place. We cook, we clean, we listen, we help, we care. And that's why we create customized care plans to enable every senior to maintain their independence. To learn more about how we can help your family, contact us today.
Did you know that tinnitus or ringing in your ears can be a sign of hearing loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Gabby Rodriguez, one of the audiologists here at Amazing Hearing. Contrary to what many doctors may tell you, tinnitus can be helped and often eliminated.
I'm a doctor and I thought I'd have to live with the tinnitus, and my hearing has gone from loud tinnitus to no tinnitus in a week and a half.
Call us today for a free consultation. Amazing Hearing, the hearing and tinnitus experts.
When it comes to life's most important medical challenges, where do you go? Welcome to the Hoag Institutes. Our top-ranked physicians are experts in diagnosing and treating the most complex medical conditions. Unparalleled expertise, world-class care, all within the Hoag Institutes, right here in OC.
And welcome back to the program. We have just enough time for a quick check on our weather, so let's do that, shall we? It's going to be the hottest day of the day. A week is going to be right here today. So if you're going to go out, make sure you got the sunscreen, make sure you got the water. It's going to be pretty warm. Also remember, we have cooling centers here in Laguna Woods Village. The library, some of the clubhouses, all cooling centers. So go over there and enjoy it in the heat of the day. You can get out there. The rest of the week's going to be a little bit cooler. Then on Monday, we start another heat wave. So enjoy the weekend. Those are going to be your cool temperatures. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Tomorrow on the program, Publishing Club and Sports Corner, and a very special announcement about a new host that's going to be working here with me. Stay tuned for that one. All right, for all of us here at Village Television, I'm Michael Taylor. We hope you make this day a great one.